Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am Muhammad Ismail. I'm Egyptian originally, and I lived in Japan for almost like 9 years. I've studied engineering in Cairo University. After that, I studied Arabic language and Islamic studies in Cairo University as well, Darul Uloom faculty. And then I studied deeply in Hadith and Islamic studies and Arabic language in Mecca and Mukarrama. So this is like simply my educational background. And I would love to do da'wah and to convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to convey the truth for people. So we were traveling around Africa and Asia, and then we were finding Japan like a very, very unique place, and very, very few Muslims went there to convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I was excited to go and to convey the message of Allah, yes.
Are there any cultural or linguistic barriers that Japanese Muslims encounter when accessing Islamic resources or literature in Japanese?
Well,
because you mentioned there is a Quran that is translated, right?
Yeah, but if you try to check, of course, the Quran and even Sahih Muslim and many other books translated.
Okay.
Sahih Bukhari as well, but it's not translated from a non-Muslim. But Sahih Muslim is translated by a Muslim. But the Islamic content in Japanese, very, very few compared to other languages. Still a lot to work on. So yeah, still we need a lot, especially online. On the internet, when you try to search in Japanese, you write by the Japanese language about Islam, you will not find a lot of content. You will not find a lot of videos. You will not find a lot of books. You will not find a lot of websites, unfortunately. So in these regards, actually, we need more efforts. Alhamdulillah, a lot of wonderful efforts are being done recently, but still we need more and more, because still Japanese people, they need 124 millions. They need more and more efforts and videos, especially on the media side. Yeah.
Can you shed light on the role of women in the Japanese Muslim community? And are there any initiatives that are aimed at empowering our Muslim sisters in Japan?
Well, to be honest, in this regards, I don't have much experience how it's going, because it's in general in Japan, like the feminists are not so active from my humble experience. So the Japanese Muslim women, mashallah, they have great role in da'wah, they have great role in education, they have great role in supporting other females from Muslims and non-Muslims. So they are totally free to participate, and they are doing wonderful job. But regarding like with higher scales, I have no idea how it's like, yeah, the impact of that. Yes.
Okay. So how do Japanese Muslims approach halal food options and dietary restrictions in Japan, considering the unique culinary landscape of the country?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, if you go to Japan, it's very hard to find halal meat. Very hard to find halal chicken. Very difficult. Like, you have to go Friday in a specific area in Tokyo and wait a long queue to take your halal chicken or halal meat. Nowadays, alhamdulillah, wherever you are in Japan, online, you have dozens of shops selling halal. You just order online, it will come to you within 48 hours by the post. So it's like very simple by delivery. And you go to the supermarkets, now the halal meat, the halal items now are available in all over Japan. In some supermarkets, they import halal items from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, from Turkey, from many other countries. You will find halal items. Halal restaurants even are available now and growing more and more and more, especially for the Japanese traditional food, like halal sushi and like halal ramen and this halal wagyu beef. So you will find it now growing and available all over Japan.
So, what advice would you give to non-Muslims in Japan who are curious about Islam or interested in learning more about it?
Yeah, I advise all Japanese to not to feel shy, to come to the masajid, to come to the mosques. Japanese people in general are very shy people, and they are a bit worried or afraid from strangers or from anything they do not know, unless he or she or that place is genuine. They take some distance. So I'm inviting everyone, please, mosques, masajid are welcoming you anytime. You can come, and the best way to know about Islam is to meet the Muslims in the masjid and to ask from the authentic sources like the imams, like the da'is, the knowledgeable ones, and they will give you the proper explanations. If you need copies from the Quran about Islam, about any topics, you will find a lot of availabilities inside the masajid. So please go and visit and interact with Muslims. That is one of the best ways I invite all Japanese to do. As well, I will invite them not to just listen about us. Come and listen from us. Come and meet us, interact with us, not just listening from here or there or being influenced by some media that's outside or something.
So looking towards the future, what are your hopes and aspirations for the growth and development of Islam in Japan and the harmonious coexistence of Muslims and non-Muslims in Japanese society?
Well, that is, mashallah, a very deep question. And it has a lot to say, but I can briefly mention that my hopes is to unite the Muslim society in Japan under one umbrella and to help others, Muslims and non-Muslims in Japan, easily for any issue is happening under this umbrella. So to have unity, this is one of the most important things. As well, I believe that having proper Islamic Japanese schools, proper Islamic education for the generations raised up in Japan, that is from the best things to do for the future of Islam in Japan. As well, I hope, finally, that many Muslims will try to come to live in Japan, good Muslims, and to show their kind manners, to show their beauty of the Islamic faith they have and the Islamic characters. So, inshallah, that will be a very nice da'wah, and it will be a very nice mixing between Japanese Muslims and Japanese non-Muslims, between Muslims from abroad and the Japanese societies. Will have this integration, keeping our faith, keeping our deen. Meanwhile, you are showing and representing your proper truth, your proper deen, your proper manners and kind characters to the Japanese. It will really help in future to let these people to understand more about Islam and will help in the growth of Islam in Japan.